All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing you your daily horoscope for Friday, the 14th of May, 2021. We've got the moon finishing up its journey in the sign of Gemini this month with their Venus, the North Node, and Mercury all in the sign of Gemini, asking us to think for ourselves, asking us to question, is this right just because someone told it to me? You know, it's really digging down to the truth of who we are as individuals and why do we think this way? Why do we love this? On a certain sense, with Mercury and Venus both being in the sign of Gemini, this is like a newfound love and joy for things in life, just simply coming back to appreciation, almost like a childlike appreciation. And like, ooh, things that are shiny, ooh, things that make sound, ooh, things that, purples and greens and blues and lions and tigers and bears, and like the wonder of how cool this world is, how cool and magnificent and fascinating Earth is and human life is, and our nervous system and our digestive system. It's like, oh, this is all cool stuff, so there's kind of a joy of refinding excitement in life, and especially with Jupiter now going into the sign of Pisces, there's a bit of that nostalgic kid energy back, and being extremely grateful to be a spirit in a human body here on planet Earth. And this is something we're going to be focusing on a lot when Jupiter is in the sign of Pisces, moves in, when it's fully in later in this year and through all of 2022, or the majority of 2022. It's giving us a little bit of a break from technology, and what's the new thing coming out, right? So we have a couple aspects going on today. In the morning time, around 7 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, we have the moon square to Neptune. Okay, now this can be a conflict of information that's been given out to the public. Information that's been given out to the public, information on this Friday starting our weekend that we just don't know how to deal with it. It's almost that kind of simple. It's like we can go this way or we can go this way. How do I deal with this information that's being given to me, whether this information is by media or news, whichever outlet it comes from? There is certainly a conflict with information coming up here Friday morning. And there are other aspects happening. Mars creating the sesqui-square to Jupiter. How do we move forward in the right emotional way with the information that we just received? Both of our planets of expansion here are saying, let's stay creative, let's stay open, let's stay flowing. Mars wants to flow. So we have to find an empathetic way to move about it. As well, Mercury is sesqui-square to Pluto. And then the moon is going to be sesqui-square to Saturn. Okay, that sesqui-square there, that is very similar, slightly different than a normal square, but more similar to that quincunx aspect, that 5/12 aspect that we talk about, which is the blind spot, astrological blind spot. So what this is all kind of saying, so we have this joy. We have valuing ourselves, valuing our lives. We have moving forward in our emotions, respecting and appreciating our emotional boundaries. These are my emotions. These are my thoughts. This is my body, and we don't have an outside source that tells us how we have to feel. We don't have an outside source that tells us how to think. We don't have an outside source that tells us how to value or what to value. This is completely up to us, which is extremely important, right? This is up to us, not anybody else to determine, to decipher how I think, feel, how I act, or any of the others. Okay, so Mercury creating the sesqui-square to Pluto. Again, two sides to look at everything. How do I be the bigger person in this situation, in whatever information's been given to me? How do I be the bigger person and handle this so that my reputation isn't hurt, someone else's reputation isn't hurt, because there's multiple ways of communicating. Multiple ways of communicating. Our moon, sesqui-square to Saturn, very similar, but in a sense of being the authority. How do I go about this in being a leader? Not only am I able to find a way to communicate with an outside authority or with a boss or a client or whatever it may be on this particular Friday, is there a way that I can communicate where no one's feelings are hurt? Am I allowed to emotionally feel whatever I need to feel and maintain my sense of leadership and my sense of authority, again, without squashing or stepping on somebody else's? Mars square to Chiron. Does this mean, someone emotionally is going to get hurt, even if that's not our intentions to emotionally hurt somebody? Sometimes we're just put in those pickles. I myself recently got put into a pickle where I'm like, there's nothing I can do. I found out about some dates and I said yes to something, and then somebody else came at me with some dates and said, oh, well, it's the same dates. Well, clearly you're going to want to, do this with me. And it's like, well, I already said yes to the first one before I knew that you had something. So it's just like, am I going to, what I mean? This is a personal dilemma, but something like this it's like someone's feelings are going to get hurt here. Whether I say, oh, no, sorry to the very first person that I thought, or if I say no to you, because you presented this information to me after. So although it's not my intention, it might not be our intentions to hurt somebody's feelings, or might not be our intentions. But sometimes that stuff happens. And with all of these little sesqui-squares and squares happening today, this is a potential something that could happen. All right. In our own unique ways, to each our own. At the same time, bringing that sense of value to self and honoring the decisions that we make, no matter what decision we have to make to move forward, or maybe this is like, I'm going to sit and think about it. And which decision I want to make. Usually when we have so much Gemini information, it's just like, I think it, I feel it, I know it, here it is. This is my decision. So it might be easier to make this decision on Friday before the moon moves into Cancer over the weekend. Or this might be something, hey, I can resolve and have a little bit of patience and maybe not give my decision until the moon moves into Leo come on Monday. But whatever, it's like following and knowing that you're doing the right decision, no matter what decision it is, no matter what needs to be communicated, no matter what you love and want to express. It's just making sure that we go about and doing it and not trying to hurt ourselves, our reputation, hurt somebody else or their reputation, and understanding that this communication, it's important that we, it's like sometimes the hard communication stuff needs to happen. This is like a partnership that's breaking up, whether this is business or romance. Like the mature, responsible thing to do is communicate. It's simply to communicate. It's not an easy conversation, but it's mutual respect, which is necessary. So those hard conversations. This could be a day of hard conversations. Either way, it's also a day of love and joy, being excited about the little things. So maybe we're getting excited that we get to have these big, difficult conversations. No matter what it may be, my friends, as always, thank you for hanging out with me. Have a joyous, beautiful conversations Friday, and we'll see you tomorrow.